Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. I am John Halcyon, and it's time for our daily practice of gratitude and connection and intention setting of the person that we want to be today. I want to be patient. I want to be loving. I want to be kind. I want to be considerate. I want to be a good listener. I want to practice self-care. I want to honor my body temple. I want to pause before reacting. I want to seek opportunities to connect. I want to reach out and send some messages to people, maybe even visit somebody today. Ask for hugs, give compliments, that kind of thing. If I could do that today, whatever else happens, I can feel like today was amazing. Good morning and welcome. This is a daily practice. Gerbot noticed that for a brief moment, this shirt that I got at the memorial was profane. I did that on purpose because I saw someone wear. Our friend Hollis had these shirts printed up. It was a long joke years ago. I believe it was Janus had some shirts that said "I love Hollis" printed up for I think a birthday of Hollis. So she brought 150 tank tops that said "I love Janus," and with all the people walking around, we were gonna take a picture in them, and then I noticed there were some people that had jackets on, and as they walked by, it looked like yeah, and I thought that was pretty classic. Maybe my new favorite shirt now. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Bill. And because I forgot to start with the song, I better do one now. How do you make up a song? I'll show you how. You just start with some sounds, and then you add a bunch of words. Sometimes it sounds like magic, other times sounds like turds. It's just a little song for the Love Morning crew. And because I love them, and because they love you, it's all good. Good morning. I'm so glad you said Whistler, because I am almost done with a music video called the RIZZARD. In fact, you know what? I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it in a couple minutes. I spent, I won't say way too much. I almost said way too much time. I got submerged in creativity, and I spent a lot of time on a vanity, silly project. If nothing else, it made Lisa crack up. So, thank you, Gerbot. You never know when the rhymes are just gonna work. If I was a smarter man, I would start to remember which words are easy to rhyme and which ones always get me stuck. Like stuck is a good one. When you start a sentence and you know you're gonna end with stuck, you can end it almost anywhere. In the muck, who gives a fuck? What are you grateful for? I would love to hear some things that you are grateful for. Bill says, hello, my friend. Today I am grateful for the air I breathe, purpose, kindness, hash browns and hugs. Hash brown and hugs sounds like a Burning Man camp. Good morning, Bill. Good morning. Christopher says, I'm grateful this happens at 11 a.m. Central, as I would almost never attend if it was 9. Perfect. I think if it was 11 for me, it'd be too easy to be caught up in other things. Like I like having by far the easiest things for me to be consistent about are first things in the day. Sometimes that's what you need, and I'm not sure if you're talking about a song or if you're talking about t-shirts. Gerbot says, I am grateful for pain meds that helped allow me to get back to sleep early this morning. Well, I'm glad you got some rest. I am grateful for a therapy session yesterday. I told you about how I had in a meditation, this download about kind of a protective shell that was protecting me from the suffering of the world and the darkness because of a really bad episode when I was 11 that I, have some like PTSD around. I had a suicide attempt and my therapy session kind of was going all over the place, but there was one massive takeaway for me. And that is that the horrifying place that I am so afraid of returning to, which is what the reason the wall's up there, is not so much about the suffering of the world, but about how alone I felt in the face of all the darkness. And that as she kind of walked me through how parents can struggle, like very common parental response if a kid is like freaked out about death, a parent can either be like, this kid is oversensitive, get over it. Or they can be like, it's all going to be fine. Everything's okay, baby. Don't worry about that. And neither one of those responses acknowledges the experience that the kid is having. And she actually showed me a video of her parenting her kid who was having like a freak out, and how she just stayed with it and even was like, it is possible that, I could die before I wake up. People do die, but I'm not going to. I don't want to. And so anyway, when she walked me through this, like a visualization of being able to reach out, and like we held hands in the session as I was feeling this stuff, and as soon as I could visualize myself like holding Lisa, it was like the bubble of darkness popped. Like it no longer had the structural integrity to take over me. It was like, So it was a pretty big breakthrough. It felt like the capacity that I have is big enough to deal with and be present to the suffering of the world, if I don't forget that I have connection and love. But if I feel like it's just me and all the darkness, that was the place that made me collapse and fall into a darkness that I couldn't get out of. And it's the falling out and being overwhelmed and not being able to get out. That's part of the PTSD thing. That's part of why I've been protecting myself from it. But I'm slowly but surely, I think, through therapy and meditations and plant medicines and secure attachment to my partner, I think I'm continuing to heal. Ain't that great? Gerbot is also grateful for this time slot, and that works perfectly for my schedule. Well, let's keep it for now. Natasha says, grateful for my kiddo who has been wanting to share a bed while we are home alone together. It has been so sweet in a time where she's mostly in public. She's too cool for mom. Thank you, Gerbot. Yeah, it was... sometimes a therapy session is filled with insight, and sometimes it's just a moment where you're like, okay, that was worth it. that changes the whole structure of my fear system. Yay for healing! I know. Oh my gosh. Really, I keep getting. It's so like it's not like I'm just now trying to start my process of therapy and inner work. I'm many decades in and still removing the layers, dismantling the walls, still finding is I gotta assume this is the way it is forever and ever. But the plus side is that the rewards are so huge. Like, I felt so close to Lisa yesterday. So grateful. And not just because she made an incredible meal, but it didn't help. I mean, it didn't hurt to be like, wow, my life's incredible. Look at this feast. Good morning, Savannah. She says, grateful for these slow mornings, my hot coffee, and a belly full of nourishment. Yeah. All right, I really want to play you the music video I've been making for the RIZZARD, because it was here that we were riffing on the idea of being, I look like a wizard with Rizz, then I'm a RIZZARD. So, okay, I'm gonna, let me pull it up. I think it's worth it. I'm still tweaking it and stuff, but oh my gosh. All right, here we go.
Go, RIZZARD, go! For years his head was covered in bright pink locks, modeled on the cover of the splat pink box. But one day he laughed, let the dye fade away. He's now a wizard with Rizz. He's a RIZZARD, they say. Call him the RIZZARD, he's casting a charm. Gray like a storm, but his vibe stays warm. Now his hair's gone gray and his beard's gone white, like a different person, but the look is tight. Whispers in the streets, man, he's magic for real. Still pink on the inside, with love you can feel. He walks down the block with a spell on his sleeve. Elder in the game, making doubters believe. White beard shining with wisdom to lend. He don't chase the clout, no, the clout is his friend. Once pink, now gray, but the legacy's lit. In love with Lisa, now they write their own script. No wand in his hand, just the truth in his gaze. Living a magic life for the rest of his days. Halcyon, the white, the RIZZARD, Halcyon, the white, go RIZZARD, go!
Yeah. I mean, I'm clearly biased, but that makes me smile. So thank you for the inspiration and the RIZZARD wordplay that happened during Love Morning last week. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Sarah. Good morning, Sarah. Chris, about talking about therapy. I generally don't have epiphany moments. The learnings tend to have a cumulative effect that slowly change me over time. I definitely sometimes will be shown an idea that helps me, like, it just changes the narrative, and then, or like when my therapist helped me see that I did have childhood trauma. When my narrative was I had a perfect childhood, like, And then that led to all sorts of things being opened and accessible in terms of, but I definitely have moments. Good to see you, Sarah. Sarah says, good morning. Nice to join you all live. I'm grateful for the World Cup ski races here in Sun Valley. The energy is high, happy, and a great retreat from the troubles of the world. Also, grateful to be finally finished with 2 months of too many doctors, CT scans, diagnostics, etc. Finally coming to a diagnosis with my doctor to make sense of it all. Like you, plus sides and scary sides. I have even stronger appreciation now for every day. Congratulations to you and all your healing. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'm sending love out. I know a number of people that are in surgery today. Not a number. I know one person going to surgery today. I know several people that are healing from pretty significant accidents and injuries and surgeries. So really trying to practice being present with struggle. And yeah. Anyone else want to have some gratitude they share? Gearbot says, the RIZZARD! Oh, hell yeah! That's dope. Them some fat beats and more sweet rhymes. Thanks. Natasha says, that was hilarious. That's great. Halcyon the White. Amazing. Good morning, Angela. Angela says, oh my God, that is awesome. And Gearbot said, I'm so grateful for our large language model assistants that help me in so many ways. I don't know. Did I share with you the sincere version of the Heart-Centered Men video? I just finally shared that publicly. It was, I made the Heart-Centered Men video that was kind of like a hard rap about Heart-Centered Men. And my mom, because of the lag, by the time you tell me you already told us this, I'll tell it twice, so I'll just say it quickly. My mom was like, I loved the words, but that song was so angry. Like, it didn't feel like it matched. I didn't like it. And I was like, I realized that I intentionally made it kind of like hard rap and with silliness in it because I felt like if I tried to make it too sincere, people would like roll their eyes and consider it to be like, oh my God, another sensitive new age guy talking about sacred masculinity. And so I was like, maybe I should make a sincere version because that's edgier, that's scarier. And as I was having this process, I shared that with my men's group that inspired the video. And one person said, like, well, the song wasn't for them. It wasn't even really for women. It was for us. And we were dealing with a lot of anger stuff. And and he goes, well, and if you make another one, I hope you just don't make it too woo-woo. And I was like, dude, that's exactly what I'm afraid of. You just gave me preemptively the jab that I was scared of. So I finished it a few days ago, or I got it to a good enough state, and I didn't post it because I was like, damn it. So I finally shared with the men's group because the only way, or the best way I know of to make a fear or insecurity evaporate is to name it and put it out there. And so I shared that, and then I shared the sincere version. And so far, the comments have been beautiful from the guys in my men's group. Oh, that's right. Well, Chris is in the group, so he got to see it. All right, you know what? First, I'm going to answer the question that Juan just said. Good morning, Juan. Juan said, does that mean there are no more pink rides? That is not what that means. There's definitely no requirement to even wear pink on a pink ride, but I still have tons of pink attire. I can certainly dress pink. I just, it would be more as a expression in a moment as opposed to the identity that I am carrying through the day-to-day world. Sarah says, exactly, demonizing snags, sensitive new age guys. Let's normalize sensitive guys and show the wider picture. Good job. Yes. And, one of the things that is, I think, is a tough target zone for men's work is you want to develop your identity and your expression in the world as a man without losing the masculine, without becoming too feminine. And that's sometimes the challenge is the men's work can be a rejection of the primal macho leading quality and become too passive, too gentle. And so the work that I'm being more and more called to is that gentle strength, is the service-based leadership. How can we embody masculine with total control over the anger stuff? And that's very different than being sensitive new age guy, where you're just like little too light and airy. And so okay, I'm gonna play you the sensitive new age one. All right. I think I am. Did I call it the sensitive, sincere? Yeah, that's what I called it. Okay.
Embracing love, dissolving shame. Each man is unique, but our struggle's the same. Vulnerability helps us grow, admitting to all that we don't know. Underneath it all, there's a common prayer, healing in the open, showing we care. Sacred masculine, let it all flow. When we feel we belong is when we grow. We the mighty crew of light, lifting each other through the night, distinguishing between anger and might, feeling our grief, shining our light. Heart-centered men, authentically real, stronger together, permission to feel. Thank you to the heart-centered men, heart-centered men, heart-centered men, heart-centered men.
I like that version too. I'm really like, I think I was kind of going through I've quite a few of these AI music plus AI art. And when I say AI music, I do feel like I need to take some credit, where I often like give it an idea and then I tweak the lyrics quite a bit until it feels like something that I feel like it's definitely a collaboration. I don't just give it a prompt and it spits it out. So, but at this bizarre stage in our evolution, I'm massively conflicted about how AI will impact humanity. I am enjoying using it as a tool to help me create art that I could not do without it. Chris says, very cool sorting hat, like Harry Potter hat in that one image. In love with Lisa? No, they write their own script. Thanks, Chris. Oh, speaking of Harry Potter, get this. So I I was at a retreat and this guy had this super cool hat and I tried it on. I'm like, oh man, this hat is awesome. It was like I even have a picture of myself in it somewhere, but I'm like, this is awesome. So I took a picture of the brand. I got home and it was like $1,000 hat. And I was like, I don't take care of my clothes well enough for that. So, but I know I'm growing my hair out, and so I feel like I am gonna start needing a lot more hats as this just gets crazier and crazier. I know my hair well enough that it's not, as it grows long, it's gonna go up for a few more inches before it starts to like have enough weight to fall. So I found a place that had much cheaper but hats that looked like they were similar, and it took 2 months to get here. There was all this issues with customer service and stuff, and they said, yeah, your order's in process, and it wasn't. And I got them, and they're terrible. This is the first one. It's like, not stoked on that one. And this is the one I'm most disappointed. In the picture, it was like an oversized cowboy hat. It was like, looked like a total John Wayne thing. And it's like a scout leader hat or something. I don't know. So, speaking of sorting hats, it makes me think of my shirt and how much I love Janus. Christopher saying that the term we're talking about is skilled anger, as Ishmael. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. I was talking with my therapist yesterday, and the difference between anger and like controlled aggression, or a controlled like primal energy. Sarah said, yes, that's what I meant by the wider picture, integrating the entirety of man, masculine, sensitive, warrior, strong, vulnerable, heart-centered, normalize all of it. Kudos to you and the work you're doing, John. Thank you, Sarah. I haven't taken the next steps in terms of what is the next event that I'm gonna do, but I want to do more events. Part of that is because I have a few things on the near future that need a lot of work with organizing. Actually, and one that's not the near future, one that's a year away, but Lisa and I had a meeting yesterday to talk about wedding stuff. And boy, getting married as a vague idea is so glorious. Starting to realize the kind of decisions that you have to make. Oh man, that's not so fun. I'm not enjoying this process at all, but luckily we've got time and we've got each other, and neither one of us has like a crazy list of, I need this for my princess wedding that I've wanted my whole life, so. Chris says that the sensitive or the sincere version is very uplifting to me, welling up in me. I appreciate that. Well, your vote counts double because you were there, Chris, and you're in the video. Gerbot says, I did a face swap for a meme the other day, but it took me way longer than I wanted and expected, but still couldn't have done it myself without Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I used in Photoshop more than anything else is generative fill. So like a lot of the pictures that I use, I generate something in AI, but it's not big enough or the dimensions aren't right for what I need to use in the video. So I take a picture of this, like a wizard's head, and then I go, zing, and it fills in the sky and it fills in the buildings around it. And it works most of the time. It's so crazy. And so which expands my ability to create the imagery that I want to use for a video. I mean, otherwise I would be stealing things off the internet, or I wouldn't be buying clip art because these projects I'm working on are non-commercial. They're just fun. I wouldn't be spending, $100 on a photo just to make Lisa laugh. Good morning, Mingle. How nice to see you today and connect and wish you the best. Chris said, yeah, I ordered the same thing. The pics were great. And then this felt costume thing arrived. Yeah, it's crazy how easy it is to acquire stuff with the tools we have. And, I'm wearing, I decided that I wanted a beige hoodie. Got it online. I decided that I wanted some baseball hats to wear that weren't white, that were beige, so I ordered a baseball hat. And then one came that was like women too small, so I sent it back and I got one that I liked. And then I wanted these stickers, so I had AI help me design this logo for Heart-Centered Men. I had stickers made that are like fabric-y stickers, and I stuck it on this hat. So now I am living in a digitally assisted wardrobe. Sarah says, love your shirt. I can help you find a nice hat up here in the mountains of Idaho. Masculine style with Rizz. I like that plan. If you missed me explaining it, with 150 of these I Love Janus tank tops that Hollis created long ago, he had a shirt that said that I love Hollis. There's all these pictures, and it was a big funny in joke of I love Hollis shirts. So she had I love Janus, and we took pictures in them. And then as people were walking around getting ready for the photo, I saw someone walking around with their jacket on. And I was just like, oh my God, that is incredible. Good morning, Janet. Good morning. Anyone else want to share something that they're grateful for? Charles giving me a reminder, stop texting me secret war plans. See, that's where there's a misunderstanding. My war plans are overt and widespread. It is a love ambassador takeover, and there's no encryption. It is open source. It just requires small actions every day of kindness and gifting. I don't even use Signal to text it. I text it openly. But I'm also way behind in the polls as far as elected officials go. Gearbot says, oh yeah, generative fill is a game changer. I've used that so many times. So useful. Seriously. In the RIZZARD video, like there's a picture I had it generate pictures of a wizard in beige, like downtown, or a wizard in beige at Burning Man. And then I took pictures of myself, cut my face out, and photoshopped that onto those pictures. And then expanded the pictures so that I could scroll it within the video or zoom it in the video and it would all still work. Yeah. I mean, the photoshopping the face on is still takes a little bit of skill. Gearbot says, throwing out some props to our friend Mark Day, who has been making some really great AI creations. Seriously. Like, in fact, I was watching what I was making and I'm like, man. And actually, Mark gave me a little tutorial of how he does stuff once, and there's a learning curve. But maybe what I could do is take one. You know what I should do? I'm gonna take one, like the picture that of me as a wizard that I zoomed in on. I'm gonna take that picture and put it into one of the programs he showed me and tell it to animate it and see what happens. Okay. Because I did pay for a membership on one of them because I was trying to learn. Anyone else want to share any gratitude before we head on today? Oh my gosh, it's already half past. Thank you for being a part of the start of this day. Thank you. I'm getting ready to send out an email to everyone who was at the celebration of life, and we did a little bit of accounting. We had a silent auction there of selling off some of his things, and to try to raise money for his son's college fund. And we raised, actually, I still don't, some people donate directly to the fund to do their payment. So, but we collected through gummy sales and his stuff, like $3,500 to go into a 1-year-old's college fund that will be compounding interest for many years. So that's kind of exciting. Last gratitudes. Grateful for you, grateful for the collective inspiration and gratitude that we summon together. Janet is grateful for all the green I can see out of my windows. Yeah, me too. In fact, you know what? I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see what I see out my window. Trees and green, trees and green. And I have not had that in a very long time. And it is, I love it, love it, love it, love it every day. Thanks for the reminder. One of the most beautiful things about shared gratitude is as other people share, it awakens your own awareness of things that you might slip into taking for granted. Thank you, Janet. Chris said, I really like today's. Thanks for being real. I just showed ChatGPT this whole plea about my life and it rejected it and kept the prompt. Oh, Jay Sins, you've got a marketing opportunity for us? How exciting. I think I will have to block you for the future. Well, wherever you are, whether you love Janus or you love anus, give yourself a big old squeeze and appreciate your body, appreciate this connection in this moment, appreciate the awareness of fellow like-minded, open-hearted people around the world, and how important it is to keep open so that others know that they're not alone. Let's try to be the person today that will make us proud of who we are, that will inspire others. Less focused on what we do and more who we are. Who will we be as we do the tasks that we're going to do today, as we make the decisions, as we have the interactions. Let's take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and Janus Osiris Red Moon, thanks for being here for our Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. Gerbot says, I have gratitude to have... No, I didn't say... Gerbot did not say that. Gerbot. And Mingle said, I have gratitude to have caught your gratitude. Me too. Love Ambassador Regime. Thanks, Sarah. Mingle says, I have gratitude that I am at the office and everyone is happy and laughing and jovial, and I love it. It's work being the CEO and creating a happy environment. Yeah, I used the quote, and I'm not sure if I got it exactly right, but I figure he probably didn't say it in English, so I'm allowed to manipulate it. But at Janus's eulogy, I said the St. Francis Assisi quote of, preach the gospel wherever you go. If necessary, use words. And I see you in that way, Mingle, and so many people that are in my life. And it's what I aspire to do, to live your life in a way that preaches whatever is gospel to you. Thank you, Mingle. Love you. Happy Tuesday, everybody. If you liked the video, oh yeah, I haven't posted the RIZZARD one yet, but I did just post the sensitive or the sincere version of heart-centered men. So if you want to go on my Facebook and leave a comment, and so that it gets into more people's feed, that would be appreciated.